Hello, everyone. Welcome to my mock draft version 2.0, audio and visual style. I'm Adam Caplan here for Inside the Birds. And in this version, this show, we're going to do picks 1 through 11. We're going to do 3 parts, picks 1 through 11, then 12 through 21, then 22 through 32. We'll do an overview of what we did in the first version, 1.0, as we go over each pick. And we did that one before the combine, so things have changed. We wanted to wait until we got through the first week of free agency because all the top players go off the board. That's happened. That happens every year. That never changes. So we kind of have an idea of where the teams stand in their current needs and future needs. We've looked inside contracts. We've talked to sources with a lot of teams here, so we have a general idea of where things stand, and we'll go from there. So pick number 1, obviously the Titans. Now, understand this. The Titans are a bad football team. There's a reason why they're picking number 1. It's not just because they haven't gotten the quarterback position right. They've struggled over the years with the draft. They've had some hits. They've had some bad misses. They've had some misses in free agencies. They've had some hits, but more misses, unfortunately. And they just don't have enough blue chip players. I'm talking to clubs around the league over the years. You need at least 7 to 8 blue chip players to be considered a Super Bowl team, to be able to make a big run. And unfortunately, the Titans only have like one, and Jeffrey Simmons. There's some other good players, but you need big time players. And they also have to solve the quarterback position for the future. Their new front office, of course, they're hoping that they don't have to have the number 1 pick anymore, and they get the quarterback position right. So the Titans, with the first pick, they have the quarterback need for the future: receiver, corner, edge, and safety. They surprisingly released the veteran corner last week, which kind of surprised me that they went in that direction. When you look at the Titans situation at corner, I get it. You've got a new front office. Chidobe Awuzie was the guy they let go. He had a significant amount of guaranteed money left in his contract. They owe him over $7 million. That's fully guaranteed, and there was an additional $4 million, I'm told, that became fully guaranteed the 5th day of the league year, and they decided they weren't going to guarantee that money, so they clearly didn't want him. So they moved on from him. So corner is certainly a position of need, but it comes down to this: edge is a major need for them. Can they get the right medical information on AbdulCarter? Do they feel comfortable enough? It's a little bit early. We got to get to the combine recheck. He's got the stress reaction, which could be a precursor to a broken foot. You have to be careful with that one. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but that sometimes what that stress reaction is, you got to feel comfortable with it. So the Titans have to feel comfortable with that, and they have to know where they're at with CamWard. The first time we did this mock in version 1.0, we went with CamWard. It comes down to CamWard and AbdulCarter. CamWard is the pick here for the Titans. He is by far the best quarterback for this draft. I told you that last time. It's been a consensus since I started working on this in mid-January. So we're going to go with CamWard for the Titans here at number 1. And number 2, it also comes down to this: if CamWard is there, they're taking him. If not, it comes down to AbdulCarter. I know edge is not a need, certainly not for this season, but the draft is always about the future. So they've secured Myles Garrett now. They've taken care of his contractual issue. They've guaranteed a lot of money for the future. When you look at the other situations here at edge for them, it's certainly not a current need. They don't need to do anything now, but understand past the season, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka is on a 1-year deal. Alex Wright, who's a 3rd-round pick in 22, his contract's up. Isaiah McGuire enters year 3 of his 4-year deal. Okonkwo, he's on the final year of his deal. So, yeah, you can make the case for them to take an edge here, and AbdulCarter would be a great pick if they feel comfortable enough. Now, you look at the other needs, corner. For the future, it's certainly a need, not this season, but for the future, Travis Hunter has to be a consideration. And that's really it. If you're the Browns here, quarterback, left tackle. I know it's a need, but there's not a left tackle you would take here. It's not a value. Running back, yes, but it's not a value. Running receiver is a need. Travis Hunter is going to be looked at more of corner than receiver, but he could do both. And safety, but obviously you're not looking at safety here. Now, if CamWard makes it to them at 2, we're going with CamWard, but for the sake of this mock draft 2.0, because it's more of a comfortability pick, because we don't know about AbdulCarter's total, we're not sure totally right now if every team is comfortable with his medical. So we're going to go with Travis Hunter, the corner who could play receiver out of Colorado at number 2. AbdulCarter, by the way, we went with AbdulCarter for the Browns at number 2 in the first mock, but because of the medical, we're not totally comfortable, so we're going to go with Travis Hunter. It's about as safe as it gets here at number 2. At number 3, the New York Giants. In the first version, we went with ShedeurSanders, the quarterback from Colorado. He's definitely going in the first round. Very possible in the top 15. The question is here, if the Giants are comfortable with AbdulCarter's medical, they're going here, absolutely going here. At number 3, he'd be a great value for them. But again, we're not sure about how comfortable teams are with him. They need a quarterback. Although we know Aaron Rodgers is on their radar, we have to understand, even if Aaron Rodgers went there, he's a one-year solution. He's not the future quarterback. They need to have one. We know they need to figure out the right side of their line for the future that the Giants do. They need to figure out corner in terms of depth, but now they have enough for the near future. They're okay there. Need a running back. Need a D tackle, but not now. So to me, it comes down to going for ShedeurSanders. Yes, I'm sure if Ward and Carter are gone, you could, if you're the Giants, you absolutely consider trading down. But who would trade up? That's what you have to ask for. So this is more of a need pick, not than a great value. I get it. They took ShedeurSanders the first time. They're doing it again here in mock version number 2.0 here. Audio and video style, ShedeurSanders is the pick for the Giants here. So far, we have the Titans going with CamWard, the Browns going with Travis Hunter, and the Giants go with ShedeurSanders. Now, this is where it gets fascinating. Because I know some people think they should, the Patriots at number 4. By the way, we had the first time them taking Travis Hunter. I know corner now is not the need that it was when we did it the first time, because they addressed it in free agency. But edge is a major need for them. Receivers a need. This is where it gets fascinating for AbdulCarter. We're going to take AbdulCarter and just assume here for the Patriots that they feel comfortable with his medical. This is a great pick because, boy, folks, my value board completely drops after this pick. We're going with AbdulCarter for the Patriots here at edge from Penn State. And they're just going to have to live with the medical here. They have to feel comfortable with it. We know that their front office will do their due diligence. We'll go with AbdulCarter here. And they've had a very active offseason, no question. They spent big money in Milt Williams and a lot of mid-level free agents. And they continue having a good offseason here, getting a good value here with AbdulCarter. And for the next mock 3.0, we'll probably do that after a series of pro days are done. We'll wait till probably mid-April, then we'll do one more right before the draft. But right now we're going to go with AbdulCarter. This is a good pick here for the Patriots. At number 5, the Jaguars went with MasonGraham, the D tackle from Michigan, which is a need pick. Corners, an obvious need for them. Safety, running back for the future, and edge, depth, also for the future as well. This one to me, they're okay. They're okay on their offensive line now. They've got their tackles. Walker Little signed his extension within the last year. Corner, if Travis Hunter makes it to them at 5, they're going with Travis Hunter. They're taking 30 seconds to turn that card in, maybe 20 seconds. D tackle, clearly a need. MasonGraham is the best player on the board for the Jaguars here. We're going to go with MasonGraham at number 5 for those Jaguars. The Jaguars. Here at number 4 for Duval.
Sky Motor Cars in Westchester is a different sort of dealership. All it takes is one look at their Highline pre-owned vehicles that people over the country want and need. Owner Brett Schiller, make sure you don't spend a dime of your money before you purchase the car. Sky Motor Cars allows you to make all the decisions regarding your next vehicle. At Sky Motor Cars, you never have to spend more than necessary. Visit SkyMotorCars.com today or call 610-918-7225.
Number 6 for the Raiders. They're a bad football team. Their needs are clear: receiver, quarterback, corner, running back, D tackle, DN. Yeah, they need more edges. It comes down to who's there on the board. They don't need a D tackle early. They need it, but they don't need to go D tackle here. They need receiver for the future and for now. We went in the first mock, we went with McMillan, the receiver from U of A at the University of Arizona. We're going to do the same thing. Get that jumbo receiver, contested catch guy, really, really talented. He's going to go certainly in the upper half of the draft. This is the earliest that he'll go. Remember, we don't do trades in this mock. So we're going to go with McMillan, the receiver from University of Arizona, number 6 for the Raiders. At number 7, we went in the first mock. We went with Tyler Warren, the tight end from Penn State. This would be the earliest he would go. The Jets' needs are very clear. For the future, they need receiver, right tackle, tight end, safety, D tackle, and corner. They lost, remember, Reed, DJ Reed, the corner. Boy, I like Warren here, but man, they need tackle. They can get tight end later. This is a very deep. I'm told there's 7 tight ends that are draftable within the first 3 rounds that could be starters to the next level, so they could wait. I get it. Warren's the best one. We're going to go with Will Campbell, who will plug and play right tackle immediately. So if you really look at the Jets situation at tackle right now, they get Will Campbell here. He will be their right tackle day one. Fashanu's their left tackle. I know he could play right. He'll be the left tackle. They've got Tippmann at center, Vera Tucker at right guard. John Simpson now is their left guard. They could address that later to get competition. Now they're finally building a good offensive line with Darren Muji, their new general manager. Number 8 for the Panthers. Nobody needs edges more than them. They need a corner, safety, and receiver for the future. Went with Mykel Williams, the edge from Georgia in the first time. Mykel Williams is the best edge on the board. We're going to go with Mykel Williams again from Georgia. At number 8 to the Panthers so far, we went number 1, CamWard to the Titans. Number 2, Travis Hunter for the Browns. Number 3, ShedeurSanders, quarterback to the Giants at 3. 4, AbdulCarter to the Patriots. If he makes it to them, boy, that'd be great. And hopefully his medicals will check out. At number 5, we went MasonGraham, the D tackle to the Jaguars. Number 6, McMillan, receiver from University of Arizona to the Raiders. Number 7, Will Campbell, who will play right tackle out of LSU for the Jets. At 8, we went to the Panthers, edge, major need, Mykel Williams, the edge from Georgia to the Panthers. Will start day one. This one's interesting. At number 9, we stay in the division, the NFC South. And the first time we went with Jalen Walker, who's as Greg Cosell from NFL Films told us, where you lining him up? He could play inside, he could play outside. Where are you going to line him up? Well, the Saints will figure that out. We went with Walker the first time. We're going to go with him again. He's the best player overall on the board. At number 9 to the Saints, they could figure it out. And remember, is that the ageless, I say that, Demario Davis, who I remember seeing him at the Senior Bowl many, many moons ago. Demario Davis, who was a 3rd rounder for the Jets in the 2012 draft. He just turned 36 in January. Walker will be the eventual replacement, and I like him playing in Brandon Staley's defense. Walker goes number 9 to the Saints for the 2nd time in our mock draft. And now we go at number 10. The Bears, they went with Mike Green, the edge rusher from Marshall. We know that there's a concern about the character. We'll learn more about that as we go forward. We went with him in the first mock at number 10. They need edge rushers in the worst way. They need receiver, and they could use a corner, but the big one is edge. They've addressed their offensive line a significant way with 3 new starters. They could get younger. I mean, they could clearly draft an offensive lineman here, but the bigger immediate need and also for the future is edge. We'll go with Mike Green again, the edge rusher from Marshall, who's had a good offseason. He's just got to get through the character issue. Now, let's go to number 11 with the 49ers. They don't need a corner right here. They could get a corner later. They need a D tackle. They can't line up right now. They don't have anybody who's ready to start, really. They need an edge, no doubt. They play a 43 front. They need an outside linebacker, and as I said, they need a corner. In the first one, we went with Will Johnson, the corner from Michigan. But in this one, we're going to stay for the 49ers at 11 at the University of Michigan. But we're going to go with the other D tackle, Kenneth Grant from Michigan. They got a starter for now and the future at D tackle. And at number 12, that is number 11. At number 12, it's the Dallas Cowboys. In the first one, we went with Walter Nolan. We're going to do it again. We really like him. They have a lot of needs. There's no question the Cowboys do. They need edge, no question about it. They need D tackle. Boy, Mozzie Smith has not gotten it done. I'm a little. See, you have yet another staff here. Do they have to do a D tackle here? No. They could take one later, but Mozzie Smith has done next to nothing in his first 2 years. We know they re-signed Odigizua. No doubt he's a stud player. They're very light. Solomon Thomas will provide depth here, no doubt. Parsons, listen, at edge, they got Parsons. Obviously, he's going to be there a long time. They'll get it done. Marshawn Nealon comes back. Sam Williams is there. We know there's been a character issue with him. Dante Fowler's back here. So they don't need to do edge now. They could do it later. But Walter Nolan is going to go in the upper half here. I know there's a debate where Walter Nolan should go. I know the Cowboys could use a receiver. I think this is a little bit too early for Matthew Golden. I know he ran really well. I get it. I think this is a little bit early. I know people are pointing to running back. They're taking the short-term view. They've got two guys. Miles Sanders obviously is on a short-term deal. So it's Javonte Williams, but they're going year by year, the Cowboys here, and I don't see him doing that. I'm taking the best player on the board here. Yes, they could go offensive line. We may look at that in the next draft, but we're going to go with the best player on the board is Walter Nolan, the D tackle from Mississippi, who's going to go in the upper half. Just a matter of will he go at number 12. So what you do is you get a rotation. You don't worry about that. Mozzie Smith hasn't done well. He just has to do well, but now they're going to get not only someone to push him. You get a great D tackle rotation. You just take Walter Nolan. You don't worry about what anyone else thinks. So here's we actually do the top 12 picks here. Then what we'll do is we'll go 13 through 22 in the next one, or 13 through 23. And then we'll finish it out is 23 or 24 through 32 in the final one. So here we go, 1 through 12. CamWard to the Titans at 1. Number 2 to the Browns, Travis Hunter. Love this pick for them because they got a bunch of cornerback contracts that are going to expire after the season. Denzel Ward, by the way, no guaranteed money left in his contract. We should mention that. Number 3 to the Giants. The only question here is that it a value ShedeurSanders at 3, but we're going to go with Sanders here again for the second time. At number 4, AbdulCarter is going to be a great pick if he makes it to the Patriots at a major need as edge. Number 5, MasonGraham for the second time to the Jaguars at number 5. Number 6, McMillan, the receiver to the Raiders at number 6. Number 7, the Jets. They need a right tackle. Will Campbell will start right away. There you go. They got bookend tackles for the future. Now they're really building an offensive line. I know it's boring, folks, but they got to do it. Look at the Eagles. That's a good way to look at the way they've done the Super Bowl winner. The Jets go with Will Campbell at number 7. Number 8, Michael Williams to the Panthers. They need an edge. They get it with Williams. Number 9, the Saints go with Jalen Walker again. He can initially play inside backer. You can move him around. I like this pick for the Saints. Number 10, Mike Green, once again, edge, major need pick. Good football player. Got to get through the character concern. Number 11 to the Niners. Certainly a major need here by far. Kenneth Grant, the D tackle from Michigan. And number 12, we're going to go with Walter Nolan here. We may change our mind in the next draft. Next mock, we're going to go with Walter Nolan, the D tackle from the Cowboys at number 12. And there you have it, 1 through 12. Till next time, stay tuned here for Inside the Birds.